Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment, where today we are talking about the Idiot's Guide to Saving Money. As I drink my gunpowder tea, bought this for $4. Yeah, this isn't bags. This is like actual one big bag of tea for $4. It's probably going to last me 2 weeks or more. And you know it's real when it says extra thin gunpowder. And it also says, since 1950, l'origine, Zhang Chinese. It doesn't even say China on it. It's got some Arabic on here. Yeah, like, I don't know where exactly this came from, but it was super cheap. I like saving money. I like green tea for the antioxidants and the slight caffeine that it has. Another tip as to how to save. Coffee has gotten way too expensive, even the home coffee. Why is it $5, $6 a bag for the cheapest thing that you can find? Well, they did have a drought a while ago, but that is not what we're talking about today. So I found this article, 54 Ways to Save Money. If I see something stupid, I'm skipping it because this is like the third or fourth article I've looked at to find good information on how to save money. And one was basically like every tip was a commercial. It was, you can use this company to knock off this much of your debt by going through them for your credit card. Like, it was crazy. So let's get started here. Number one, an emergency fund is a must. So they're suggesting to have at least $500 in savings. If you own a car, you should have $1,000 to, I would say, $1,500, if not $2,000. I don't know if it's a newer car. I don't know if it's an older car. I don't know if you need to buy a part and you can put it in yourself, or if you have to take it to a garage where they're going to charge you 60, 70 bucks an hour to do something that you could do at home for 120. That's just the part. By the time you walk out, it's $300 to $500, depending if it's something simple or if it's something big. So $500, it's a good start, but depending on what kind of emergency you're looking at, you might need more. Establish a budget. Translation. Do you have impulse control or not? Because the whole budget thing, you have your set bills. Sometimes those set bills you can do something about. So if you're trying to save money, you've got your rent or your house payment, you've got your car, your insurance, your electricity bill, if you're in the city, a water bill. You have all these bills, and you kind of know what they're going to be. Your phone bill, your internet bill, your streaming bill. If you're trying to figure out where you can save, you can cut cost on those things, various different ways. Future videos, possibly, on this channel. But yeah, the whole budget thing, you really need to just sit down, figure out how much you're spending on everything, and see if there's anything that you can either reduce or cut, get rid of altogether. When was the last time I watched something on Hulu? Oh, but they have that new season of some show that I'm only going to watch for a week that I don't really care about, but I've been paying for it for the last 6 months. Yeah, come on. You can do better. Don't just save money, save for your future. This is for assholes who make a lot more than I do. The whole, like, you should be taking a certain percentage of your income and setting it aside for retirement. Not everybody makes 70K, 100K, 120K, okay? Some of us are just getting by. And let's see here. Number 5, save automatically. This is something I used to do, and if I could, I would probably start doing it again. I really just need you have an app. You have that app. Everybody has the app now, right? When you get paid, immediately transfer X amount of dollars into a savings account or your kid's account or whatever accounts you have. and then pay your bills with what's left. And if you have something left over, that is your spending cash for the week. Okay? It's not hard. What they're going to say is route some of the money from your paycheck into a separate account so you don't see it. It makes sense, but I also don't want as much info going to different things than I need it to. You got to be careful with the internet. Number 6, start small, think big with a short-term goal. This is again about savings. I thought it was going to be about reducing bills, actually, because start small. If you've got a credit card that's like $500, but you've got the other $2,000, $3,000 credit card, pay off the small one first, and then take the money from that and put it into the bigger one. Start saving for your retirement as early as possible. Easier said than done. Yeah, I don't remember Meyer where I was getting $4.15 an hour having a retirement plan. Oh, the 90s. Take advantage of employer matches to your retirement plan. I used to do that at the hospital. I did pretty good at the hospital. And then, as so many people can say, over time, especially men, divorce just ate up. Okay? Yeah. So, no, I actually did really, really good. It was 2009 to 2011, 12. I had a 403B, and the hospital would do matching up to a certain amount. So I started doing this. And what ended up happening was you could pick different portfolios. And of course, everybody was, America! Yeah! And they were getting like 1% returns on what they were putting in. Me, because I saw what happened in 2009, how the Chinese market crashed first. Well, the Chinese government stepped in, dumped in a bunch of currency, devalued their currency. The stock market went back up. They pulled the currency back out, upped their value of their currency again, and everything was hunky-dory. So I was like, wow. And it took us how long to figure out what to do with our stock market? So yeah, I put everything into this Asian diversified portfolio. A lot of it was China, some of it Japan, some of it were some of the other developing nations over there. But at the end of one year, I'm checking it online, and one of the older women, she looks over and she's like, my retirement account's doing horrible. And she has me look at hers, and it said, yeah, 1%. And it was just straight American portfolio. And I'm like, our economy sucks right now. Like, what the are you doing? And you're looking at retiring in like 10 years, maybe. It's probably less than that. And then she looks at mine, and she's like, how did you get 10%? And I'm like, China doesn't F around with their economy. I can't say that is true today, and it's probably not a good idea, because if China goes into Taiwan, that's going to mess things up. But that was something I saw and something I did 15 years ago. But you really got to shop around. Try to figure out what is the most stable, what's the most reliable, what's going to give you most of your return. Save your windfalls and tax refunds. Oh, I wish. It's always a question of like, how are we going to spend that? Seriously. Like, I'd really like to use it for, how about not? Why do we have to use it on anything? But it's not just up to me. I'm the one who filed the tax. I could have fucking done. I did it for years. Number 10, make a savings plan. A lot of this is just savings. They have 54 on here, and they're reiterating the same things. Make a savings plan. Okay, we already talked about this. Save your coins. If you count your pennies, the dollars make themselves. Use the 24-hour rule. Avoid purchasing expensive or unnecessary items on impulse with a self-imposed 24-hour rule. For any non-essential item, wait 24 hours before purchasing. Again, that comes down to, do you have self-control? Are you an impulse buyer? If you are, get rid of the Amazon app. Make sure you have to log onto a computer. If you have to log into a computer, you're going to view it as it's kind of a pain in the butt in order to get onto Amazon, and it'll prevent a lot of that stupid buying. Treat yourself, but use it as an opportunity to save. No. If you're treating yourself, it's money that doesn't need to be spent. Enough said. Calculate purchases by hours worked instead of cost. Oh, yes. Men do this when their women are spending their money. I worked how many hours for her to those shoes? Unsubscribe. Avoid temptation by unsubscribing from marketing emails. Who reads these? The emails? I have never understood the whole, like, you need to have an email list. Should I rephrase this, or is it true? When I was writing, books, when my books on Amazon were doing fairly well, I would try to get into these writers. It was like meet and greet stuff. They would have like local writers things at the libraries. Well, all of a sudden the libraries had these criteria of like, you had to have this. Oh, and an email list for your fans. Like if you don't have an email list to contact them, to tell them to come to this event, like you can't have a booth here. And I'm like, you realize that an email list isn't local, right? Like you could have a fan in Seattle. They're not going to come out here to be at the X, Y, and Z public library for your meet and greet author book signing. Like that's not gonna happen. So I never understood the whole email thing. I never read them. Half the time Google's asking me, you haven't opened these in 6 months. Would you like to unsubscribe? Yes, please, because you're always bitching about how many emails I have in my file. Place a reminder on your card. Okay. Oh, it's telling you to write notes to yourself like in Memento where it says, have you met your savings goal for the month? Because again, you have no self-control. Whoever wrote this has no they're an impulse buyer, I guarantee it. Participate in local investment, development account, or IDA program. I know nothing about that, so we're going to move on. Pay off credit cards in full each month. Okay, so what they're saying is you can use a credit card, but make sure at the end of the month you pay off the balance on that credit card so you're not paying the interest. Just have a debit card because guess what? If you don't have the money, you can't use it. If you're using a credit card, it's horribly stupid, and they're going to talk about like, but you get points, and you get to do this, and you get to do that. No. That's how you end up buying more than you can afford. Don't do credit cards. Get rid of your credit cards. That's the tip. Start with a goal of reducing your credit card debt by just $1,000. Okay. I mean, or you could just set a goal of like paying it off entirely. That's the goal, because you get it down by $1,000, and next thing you know, you're spending $1,200. And they're going to up your limit. So then you're going to think like, oh, I can do more damage than I initially did. Use only the ATMs of your bank or credit union. That's a no-brainer because they're going to charge you. Or just don't. Like, for one, why are you using ATM anyways? Most places take debit cards as it is. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Check your credit report for free once a year. Or not. Like a credit, the whole thing with credit and credit reports is that they try to tell you how much money you can borrow and you're trying to get out of debt. So if you have a high credit score, you're going to think like, wow, I have more access to money that I don't have, but I can borrow it, which means I'm in debt. Forget the credit score. Seriously. Pay your bills on auto pay. Absolutely fucking not. Do not do this. This is a bad idea. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if something happens and you've got to pay some emergency bill, you've got to pay something, you write a check for something, and then you have this auto pay bullshit, and they go to take the money out of your account and it's not there, you now have a late fee. So it can possibly, potentially cost you more money in the long run if you do the auto pay. Do not do that. Get your bill in the mail, pay the bill when you receive it. If you have the money, stick with that. Be a responsible adult. How about that? Get free debt counseling. No, because they're going to give you bad ideas. I don't trust these assholes. If anything, get a book like Dave Ramsey's. You don't have to do everything in there, but a lot of it is good ideas that you can adopt and do on your own. Take advantage of your library. This I believe in because you've already paid for the shit that's there. Check out a book because books are what? $30, $40 a pop now if you're getting a hardcover that just came out. And trust me, if you like James Patterson, they have every James Patterson title available. It's going to save you a buttload of money. And a lot of libraries these days don't even have late fees. You return the book that's late, you can check out more stuff. If you don't return the book and it's late, you just can't check out anything unless you decide to pay for that book. But there's really no late fees anymore. So you don't even have to worry about that. And they have movies. A lot of them have CDs, audiobooks. There's all kinds of stuff there. Just go to your library because it's stuff you already paid for. Browse online for free or low-cost local entertainment, where you're going to pay for drinks and parking and gas. Nothing's free, okay? Volunteer at festivals. No, because that is money, that is time. Time is money, and you could be spending that doing something else that makes you money. Create a family spending limit on gifts. Not a bad idea. Plan gift giving well in advance. How about you just stop buying for adults that can afford to buy their own shit and not feel guilty when they come to you saying like, I'm not worthy of a Christmas present this year? And of course, the few times where I actually made stuff for people, like one person I drew a portrait for that took several hours, and the response was, wow, you couldn't buy me something this year? Go fuck yourself. Okay, it's never too soon to start saving for college. You don't have to go to college. Go to a trade school. You'll probably make more money and actually get a job. Don't buy cheap clothes for cheap's sake. No, go to Goodwill. Because a bunch of rich assholes will buy really expensive clothes, say they don't like it a few weeks after they get it, and then donate it, and you get it for $3 or $4. I'm not kidding. I have some really expensive work pants that will probably last me several years that are super durable, heavy duty, like $4 to $5. So yeah, don't buy cheap. Basically what they're saying is don't buy stuff at Walmart or Temu or anything like that. Organize a neighborhood swap meet. Or just get to know your neighbors, and if you have something you want to get rid of, put it out there because somebody's probably going to grab it. Designate one day a week a no-spend day. Well, that's my weekend because I went nowhere this weekend, and I feel better for it. This is what I would consider a vacation. Just staying home. I'm already paying for the heat. If I went somewhere else to enjoy myself, I'm still paying for the heat. Why would I go somewhere else? Brown bag your lunch. That's pretty obvious. Commit to eating out only. Commit to eating out one fewer time each month. Or not. You want to save some money? Don't go out to eat. Eat at home. I'm going to do a whole nother video on how to save a shit ton of money on groceries, which a lot of people are complaining about. Plan your meals in advance and stick to a list while grocery shopping. If you're trying to get into shape and fit and everything, you should be doing this anyways so that you're not eating a bunch of junk food, a bunch of things that you don't know what's in it, stuff that's going to throw you out of whack. It's not a bad idea. I'll take a water, thank you. And pretty soon it's just going to be bottled water so they can still charge you for it. No joke. You want tap water? It's what you wash all your dishes in. Are you telling me those aren't clean? Save time and money by doubling the recipe. True that. Leftovers are amazing. Don't skip on preventative health care. Skip it. Take care of yourself and take your vitamins. Eat healthy. That's preventative health care. Go generic. Yeah, I've got more on that later. Sometimes you don't have to if you know what you're doing. Comparison shop for prescription drugs. Or stay healthy so you don't have prescription drugs. That's good tip. Purchase store brand over the counter medications. True, that's what I do. When I do actually come down with something, I'm getting the Walmart generic, Walgreens, whatever. The thing that's like less than half the cost of the other thing. Comparison shop for homeowners insurance. Yeah, a lot of times you can bundle that with your auto insurance and it ends up a lot cheaper. Refinance your mortgage. Hopefully you already got a low interest rate. Hopefully you didn't get an adjustable rate. And depending on how much you have left on it, what you're going to pay on the closing costs for refinancing might be the amount that you would save if you had just put it towards the principal and paid it off early. You really should just be paying more on your monthly payment and paying down that principal. Audit your home energy use. Hells yeah. I still haven't figured out what's jacking up ours. It's insane. Weatherproof your home. It's a good idea. Keep the sun out. Unless it's winter. Because that sun, put down some dark rugs. Yeah, sun is good. Use less water. Okay, cut laundry detergent in half. Yada, yada, yada. Go natural. Speaking of your laundry detergent, using everyday items you already have around your home to clean works for many. You'll be surprised with vinegar and lemon. Are they really saying to use vinegar and lemon for laundry detergent? I mean, no. Borax, you can use that. There's a lot of things you can use. You can also find books on, and you can find these books super cheap at the used bookstore on alternatives for cleaning products. Lower the temperature on your water heater. That's old. Ditch the paper. Cutting out paper towels and using cloths, napkins until everything smells like dog piss. I swear to God, you cannot wash certain things out. You're going to have to, if you're doing the whole cloth thing for all of your cleanup, for one, you're adding more to your laundry. So you're going to have additional cost in doing laundry. And you're going to have to designate which rags you're using for certain things, because one day you're going to wipe off your hands and go, ah, because some stuff does not come out. Become a coupon king or queen. That is a second job, and I don't know. Some people can do it if you have the time. Comparison shop for auto insurance. Not really a thing in Michigan, thanks to the commie Democrats and the governor. And this whole you have to hand over your money to insurance companies, which means since we don't have any alternatives and they're all in this nice big pool of cash that's coming their way because it's mandatory, how do you bid down? We are the first or the second state with the highest auto insurance rates. So that one does not help me. Check multiple sites for low airfares. Why are you flying? Yeah. I'd rather not be fondled by TSA. Thank you. So these were the 54 tips here for saving money, and I've got a lot more than just that going on in my head, which will be a future video for things that I do, in particular food. Food is a big one. I know a lot of people out there complain about the food prices, and there's a lot that you can actually do about it if you know about it. So that will be coming up in the near future. And in the meantime, I hope this helped. Keep on typing.